Nothing will change your life like love, tragedy, and raising your credit score by 100 points. Welcome to The Red Desk. Today we're talking about credit scores, how to check them and how to boost them. Because whether you like it or not, that 3-digit number has a lot of control over your life. It's almost more important than your haircut. No. Maybe, yeah. Credit scores are like a grade for how trustworthy and responsible you are. Well, at least with money. Good credit means you can do more with the money you got. Bad credit means higher interest rates and even denials. Pretty much anything you want to do with money involves credit. Buying a house, renting an apartment, purchasing a sports car, starting your dream business. I mean it when I say the advice in this video could literally change the direction of your life. So no pressure, but also pay attention. Credit scores range from 300 to 850. These scores are usually FICO or VantageScore scores. VantageScore scores? These are the two major credit scoring models. They basically look at everything you've ever done involving borrowing, AKA your credit report, and go like, okay, would we give them more? Back in the day, lenders used to keep giant notebooks of people who were trusted and not trusted, and a lot more bias and personal grudges were involved. So, credit scores are actually kind of a good thing. Anything over 720, you're golden. Under 620, things get tricky. For example, you usually need a 620 or higher to qualify for a conventional mortgage. There are some exceptions, like FHA loans, which at Rocket Mortgage have a floor of 580. But the point is, things get a lot harder with a low credit score. And this doesn't just apply to mortgages. You can buy a car with a score lower than 600, but you won't get a good rate, which means you have to pay more. So your monthly payment is higher, and then it's harder to get out of debt. Ah! Your score is made up of 5 main categories: payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history, credit mix, and new credit. The big one is payment history. Paying your bills on time is about 35% of your score. Each payment you miss lowers your percent paid on time. You want to keep this as high as possible, like 99% or higher. If you have tons of cards with hundreds of payments over a decade, missing one, no biggie. But if you've been borrowing for a year or two and only have something like 24 payments, missing one puts you at 23 out of 24, or 95.8%. Big problem. Don't worry, you don't have to pay your debt down to 0. Paying the minimum counts towards your payment history. Your best bet? Set up automatic billing, check your balances on a regular basis, and do whatever you can to avoid missing the due date. Amounts owed, or credit utilization, is the next biggie. It's around 30% of your score. Credit utilization is calculated a lot like DTI. Learn more about DTI in our other Red Desk video. Credit utilization is a calculation of how much of your total limit you're using. You want to keep this low, ideally 0%, but definitely under 30. If you owe $1,000 on a $2,000 limit, that's 50%. Not good. If you have $1,000 with a $100,000 total limit, that's 1%. Way better. So, if you've got a card you've had for a while, ask for a credit limit increase. You can also open more credit cards if your score is high enough, and you can handle additional payments responsibly. Next up, how long you've been borrowing and repaying. This is about 15% of your score. There's no way to speed this up, but keeping accounts open as long as possible is the trick here. That's because some scores look at your existing account's average number of years as opposed to your total credit history that includes all the ones you've closed. This is why some people recommend keeping as many lines of credit open as long as you can. 10% is credit mix. Basically, if you have different types of loans and credit cards and are still paying everything off, the calculator is like, okay, these people understand how this whole debt thing works. So Besides credit cards, if you have mortgages, student loans, car loans, business loans, whatever else, they'll factor that in. The last 10% is new credit and hard inquiries. Whether it's for credit cards or loans, if you're requesting credit from a bunch of different places, a little red flag goes up. Those asks are hard inquiries or credit pulls, which is why you've probably heard people saying to avoid them if you can. Thing is, these are necessary for large transactions and only affect your score for a year, then go away. So it's important to limit them to the most important transactions, such as buying a house or vehicle. Checking your credit doesn't hurt your score and is super easy. There are 3 major credit reporting bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. These companies keep track of your financial life, and you're entitled to a free credit report from them each year. It's a good idea to occasionally check these reports. Sometimes the report has a mistake. If you catch an error, you can file a dispute and get it fixed, which will raise your credit score. The best thing you can do to raise your score is to start chipping away at debt. Whatever you have to do, just start. This helps with both payment history and credit utilization, which make up over half of how your score is calculated. Keep your debt ratio low by paying things off, maybe opening new lines of credit, or asking for a credit limit increase. Keep credit cards open by making a purchase every once in a while so you keep adding years to your credit history. Checking your credit doesn't hurt your score, but avoid making too many hard pulls to your credit in under a year if you're trying to get your score up. That's a wrap! So, future 800+ credit score geniuses, are you ready to prove to the world you're financially responsible? Good. First order of business? Pull your credit report and check your existing score. You can do that for free right now by making a Rocket account. Until next time! Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, you know what to do. Click right here. And as always, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.